into editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Let us start with the snippets. The very first one, bill to remove PM CMs. India bloc won't allow its passage Venugopal. There is one important word here, that is it's. Otherwise, very simple words, nothing to learn as such. Bill to remove PM and CMs. I have already done one editorial based on this. If a person, incumbent PM, incumbent CM, has been arrested by the police, then he has to leave the position, whether he is guilty or innocent. Whether he is guilty or innocent will come to know only in the court of justice. But before that, the person has to resign. And good morning to all of you. One editorial based on that and familiar context. But here, why is this word important? Its passage. Opposition objected, legal fraternity also objected, and based on that, you have to recollect an important rule. What is that rule? Possessive pronouns never take an apostrophe. That's a common error. That goes with letter writing. While closing the letters, they close your apostrophe. Yes, that is wrong. You lose 2 marks based on that. That otherwise nothing to learn as such. But when you see it apostrophe yes, it is not a possessive pronoun. You have to recollect. It is a short form of it is or it has. When you see these words, obviously you have to recollect words like all legal terms, innocent, guilty, acquit, convict. We have got so many times. Key milestone. There's one important word here, milestone. ISRO finishes first airdrop test for Gaganyaan. Other words are easy, but I always tell students when it comes to space technology, any news related to space, any article related to space, especially Indian context point of view, you have to read. You should develop awareness, contextual awareness, lexical terms, word combinations, very important. In my acronym SLEEPS, the first letter stands for science and technology, and the first topic I give, space technology. But here there's one important word, milestone. Key means important. Pravalika, very good. And coming to milestone, it has two different meanings. One meaning, when it comes to literal meaning, milestone means while traveling on the left side of the road, you see the stones with the miles, distance, all that. That is known as a milestone. But in this context, it means important dimension, important momentum, important moment rather, important aspect at a particular stage. Key milestone. In a way, you can think of the word important achievement. Here, milestone means what? Achievement, accomplishment. It goes with space, very important. Other words are rather easy, should not be a problem. This goes with Noida dowry murder. Accused is shot in leg while trying to flee. Noida dowry murder, dowry harassment. A woman was set ablaze, immolation, and when she was alive, she was burnt alive. Based on that, dowry murder. Accused, the one, her husband was accused, in laws and husband. When I say in laws, do remember nothing wrong with that. Mothers in law, that is correct. You cannot say mother in laws. But when you talk about both of them, auxiliary side, very good, Pravalika, again. When you talk about father in law and mother in law, together you can use the word in laws, her in laws. Her in laws and her husband played, they did that. Accused is shot in leg. Here you have to remember the preposition, shot where, shot in leg. You have to remember the preposition in. While trying to flee, already some students have written the meaning and Bhimana. Flee means what? Escape, run away, take to feet. Escape, run away, simple, everyone knows. Take to feet, it is an idiomatic expression. The thief took to feet. What does it mean? He fled, he ran away. That also you have to know. Coming to the next snippet, In this snippet, there's so much to learn. One snippet, so much to learn. Let us see what it is about. Transfer of archaeologist. First, you all know the word archaeology. Logy means scientific study, archaeology, archaic, something that belongs to the past. So, what do these people do? They try to excavate, they try to study the past cultures, past civilizations, past societies. And those people are at large, very good. Then you should all crack a jack, very good. I appreciate. And also, fugitive, criminal, at large, absconding, all these you have to recollect. Archaeologist, ASI, what do the letters stand for? Archaeological Society of India. He is facing a credibility crisis. Here we have credibility crisis. Both the words are important. Credible, authentic, believable. What is the opposite? Incredible. And crisis, singular, what is the plural? Crisis. Both the words are important from the exam point of view. Then we have this word we have got for the first time. Have you guys heard of this word any time? Epistemic. Epistemic means related to knowledge, study of knowledge, related to thinking, cognitive. But generally, we say epistemic means related to knowledge and validation of knowledge. Knowledge is a key word. Endeavor, we have got many a time. What does it mean? Your business endeavor, business venture, you attempted to do something. Here, its epistemic endeavor is being subsumed by nationalistic fervor. They're trying to do something, but it is being suppressed by nationalistic fervor. We have never heard. We have come across for the first time epistemic. You have to remember. You may get in the exam, banks or SSC. A word like this, 1 in 1 lakh can answer the meaning. It is not, a typical candidate cannot answer. Nationalistic fervor. Fervor means excitement, zeal, passion, enthusiasm. All these words you have to recollect. And it is being threatened, you can say, endangered, jeopardized, all these words. But in my opinion, this is an important snippet. There's so much to learn. And you may get as a passage sometimes related to archaeology. They have already given a few times. You should read the article to get contextual awareness. Here, today's paper front page is rather special. Why is it special? There's so much to learn. Bidding adieu. It's a French expression. Bid means to say in this context. Adieu. Adieu means to say bye. Bid adieu means to say bye to someone. In this context, Chateshwar Pujara hangs up his boots. Hang up his boots. What does it mean? To say goodbye to a particular field. In this context, it means he has said goodbye to the field of cricket. And too important, bidding goes with auction, you all know that. But in this context, bid means attempt, say. Bid adieu, that's an idiomatic foreign expression to say bye to something, and hang up one's shoes, again to retire in this context. From the snippets, there's so much to learn today. Now let us go to the front page headline. Though a familiar news item, we have got many a time. 98.2% of Bihar's electors have submitted documents, says EC. Grammar point of view, you have to focus on have submitted. Tell me which tense is that? Bidding farewell. Yes, that's right. Vishnu, Pravalika, retirement, Kavya also. Wonderful. I appreciate that. Which tense is have submitted? It is present perfect active voice. All these, this has been in the limelight for quite some time. Almost every day they write something or other about this particular news item. 98.2% of Bihar's electors have submitted documents. They're supposed to submit 11 documents. I've done a few editorials. Says Election Commission. Here, says is again something worth looking at because it's a reporting verb. It is in present tense. If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect or future, tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense that you have to recollect. Coming to the next headline, here we have Aadhaar alone not enough to enroll as voter, claims BJP. You guys remember last week I did a few editorials. What is the background information? Against the backdrop of Bihar elections, Commission has come up with submission of 11 documents to get the right to vote. 11 documents, and that became highly controversial, and many people felt it is not practical, it is not pragmatic. And Supreme Court also has directed Election Commission not to consider certain things, to consider certain things. Supreme Court's stand. Supreme Court has said, try to consider universally available documents. And two documents it has mentioned, universally available with almost all the people of this country. One, Aadhaar card; second, ration card. So Supreme Court told the Election Commission to consider these two in the absence of the 11 documents stipulated by the Election Commission. Based on that, BJP says every party has its own stand. The BJP party stand is Aadhaar alone cannot be considered, but the Supreme Court has directed the Election Commission to consider either Aadhaar or ration card. And here there's one important word, enough. Enough can be an adjective, can be an adverb. He has enough time, he has enough money. As an adjective, here it is an adjective, not at all important. But he is rich enough, he is big enough, he is smart enough, she is clever enough. Here it has been used as an adverb after the adjective. This pattern is important. They have given many a time. Coming to the other snippets this side, Lanka opposition condemns arrest of ex-president. There is only one important word. Ex means a former president of Sri Lanka was arrested, and based on that, opposition condemned. Condemn means what? Publicly disapprove. That's one word you have to remember. Coming to the next one, Congress leader stays put despite calls to resign. There is one important phrasal verb. What is it? Stay put. Stay put means not changing. Ah, very good. All these words you have to have a look related to elections. Stay put means be in the same position, not to change. And coming to what does it say? Perhaps some people, he must have done something. Based on that, some people must have demanded, called for his resignation, but he refused to do that. Based on that, Congress leader stays put despite calls to resign. Though people demanded his resign, he has not resigned. He stays put, means no change in his stand. Indian envoy in trade talks with US lawmakers. This news also has been in the limelight. Tariffs imposed by the president of the US, Donald Trump. And it has been a deadlock, a stalemate. Regarding that, against that backdrop, Indian envoy means what? Ambassador, diplomat, envoy, they all mean the same. In trade talks with US lawmakers, their talks are still going on. Coming to the pick, the front page of the Hindu paper, usually it goes with culture, sometimes nature, sometimes natural disasters. Here it is like you can make out heavy rain. Infrastructure hit. Bridges come under infrastructure. Hit means got damaged because of incessant rains, torrential rains. Heavy rain, what are the words you have to think of? Heavy downpour, rain, cats and dogs, rain in torrents, all these you have to recollect. Unrelenting rain, an important word. All youngsters, you guys are ambitious youth, you work very hard, and while preparing for competitive exams, you have to put in relentless efforts. He could achieve success or she could achieve success because of relentless efforts. Means what? Without stopping. Cave in also you have to recollect. Very good. Effect, you have to recollect. Wonderful. I appreciate your contribution. Many students have been contributing, highly appreciable and admirable. Relentless efforts. Try and try until you succeed. You have to put in relentless efforts. Here, unrelenting rain. A bridge damaged in floods on the Jammu Pathankot National Highway in Kathua on Sunday. You can make out. Pak FM Foreign Minister asks Bangladesh to move past issues after issues of 1971. There's one important expression, move past something. Move past of the past means what? Forget the past. Here, the Foreign Ministry of Pakistan telling Bangladesh to forget the problems associated with 1971. Based on that, to move past the issues of 1971. Coming to the last snippets, two new headlines. One, Russia requires a UN pledge Ukrainian neutrality, Lavrov. A person has given a statement, has given a statement, and Ukraine, Russia requires something. A UN pledge, Ukraine neutrality. There's one important expression over here, a UN neutrality, a UN. Some students may wonder, what is the first letter over here? A vowel letter, but the sound is consonantal sound. Ya sound is a consonantal sound. Based on that, we should not say an, we have to say a. And important examples from the exam point of view, a unique person, a university, a uniform, a universal rule. These you have to remember. And a UN pledge. Pledge means something like oath in this context. And neutrality, being neutral. Coming to the last one from the front page of today's Hindu paper, former Jharkhand CM under house arrest. Former Jharkhand CM under house arrest. We don't know the exact reason, not that important for us. Political news, not important from the exam point of view. Now, what is enrichment, today's editorial? Let me tell you at the outset, today's editorial very important for two reasons. One reason, it has 10 plus important words, though I have brought 4 words. They are new words. Other words are important, but you have got a many a time. Second reason, why is it important? The most important reason, rather, it is all about the menace of stray dogs. It is in the limelight. And bank exams, especially IBPS PO, SBI PO, we have essay writing, we have letter writing. Letter writing, they have given many a time, write about the menace of stray dogs. Stray dogs means what? Street dogs. Stray children, street children. For street children, we also use the expression street urchins. Sea urchin is different, that's a marine animal. Street urchins means what? Street children. All these you have to recollect. And why is this important? Because they have given many a time. Since it is in the limelight, now it has become a bigger menace in cities. Definitely there's a possibility for this topic to come in the exam, either essay or letter writing. Let us have a look at the words. What are the important words we have got for the first time and we have to focus on? The very first one, impound. I have already, menace means a threat. Already we have got so many times, Uday. So many times we have got. I have done one editorial based on this. There also we got the word menace. Menace means a threat, danger of. Impound, part of speech, verb. What is the meaning? To seize and take legal custody of something, usually because of a law violation. Law violation, you seize the vehicle, you seize the property. It goes with vehicles, property. Synonyms, confiscate, an important word, seize, take possession legally using force, withhold, detain. Antonyms, release, return, restore, liberate. Collocations, you may wonder what is this word collocation. Collocation means the word combinations. You may ask, sir, why should we learn word combinations? English has 2 names, 2 tags. One tag, it is known as the most polite language. And there's a concept called English gentleman. And the second tag English has, it is known as a combinational language. There are 8 lakh words and millions of combinations, and these combinations are known as a technical term collocations. Very important. Again, if you ask me, sir, where does it help? Close test, collocations are important, and fillers, collocations are important. Error location also, sometimes collocations are important. Impound a vehicle, as I said, property. Police impounded, illegally impounding. Impounding could be legal, could be illegal. Phrases and idioms. Impound yard, an important one. Place where seized vehicles are kept. In our country, usually we see the seized vehicles near the police station, in and around police station, dusted vehicles. Perhaps some cities, they may have separate grounds also. But if you go to Western countries, they dump all these seized vehicles a particular place. It's like an open ground. And for that we use impound yard. Yard means open space. Traditional house, whether India or Western countries, the space in front of the building, we use the expression front yard. Behind the building, backyard. Though based on that graveyard, very good. Who is this? Satish Kumar. Wonderful. Pavani, front yard, backyard. Example, the police decided to impound the car as the driver had failed to produce valid insurance documents. That's what they will do. Squalor, we have got for the first time. Have you heard of this any time? Squalor means what? A dirty place. Part of speech noun, squalor, extremely dirty and unpleasant condition, often due to poverty or neglect. Either there are two factors why a place is dirty. One could be poverty, penury, no money. Second, neglect. People don't take care, obviously it gets dirty. But you have to recollect two important idioms. One is apple pie order. Apple pie order. Second one, spick and span. Spick and span. Everything is properly placed, everything is neat, well organized. We say apple pie order, we say spick and span. If the place is not neat, then we use one word, though it has many meanings, mess. The room is in a big mess, means not properly organized. Dirt, we should recollect the word filth. Filth means dirt. But filthy rich means what? Very rich. Synonyms, see, filth, misery, dirtiness, destitution, degradation. Destitution, an important word. Messy guy. Good. Apple of my eye has a different meaning altogether. He is the apple of someone's eye, means favorite. That has a different connotation altogether. Coming to destitution, destitutes means poor people of a particular region. That's an important word. Antonyms, cleanliness, neatness, orderliness, prosperity. Collocations, live in squalor, poverty and squalor, conditions of squalor, urban squalor. Phrases and idioms, squalor and misery. It seems these two are used together. That you have to remember. They are used together. Misery. Example, the refugees were forced to live in squalor with no access to sanitation or clean water. That's the fate or plight of refugees usually. Plight of refugees means miserable condition of refugees. No proper sanitation, no proper access to water. Next one is important. They have given as a passage a few times. You may get in future also because it is controversial. What does it mean? Imagine someone has a lot of problems, health issues, suffers a lot. And if you have to choose between surviving with so much of pain, agony, acute pain, anguish, that is better, or killing that person is better, dying is better. Here we have euthanasia, part of speech noun, meaning the act of deliberately ending the life of a person or animal to relieve suffering, also called mercy killing. Yes, Pavani, it is called what? Mercy killing. It could be a person, it could be an animal. You kill because you don't want that person to suffer. But this has become controversial, so they have given a few times in different competitive exams, especially banks, SS also, and euthanasia. Some countries accept, some countries don't accept. It is controversial. Debate is there. Synonyms, mercy killing, assisted suicide, humane death. Humane means kind, human related to mankind. Humane, compassionate, or kind. Antonyms, life preservation, prolongation of life, res- resuscitation. Never heard of this, but there's one word we have got many a time. Resurrect. Resurrect means what? Bring back to life. Based on that, recitation, you can say. Recitation, you can pronounce that way. Resurrect, reset, resurrect. Based on that, this word. Remember the word resurrect, then you can recollect this one. Bring back to life. Collocations, active euthanasia, passive euthanasia. Perhaps active euthanasia means killing a person one shot. Passive means slowly killing that person. Legalized euthanasia debate. This debate is still active. That's why they have given a few times in the exam. Some people oppose, some people approve euthanasia. Debate on euthanasia. Phrases and idioms, a right to die, connected concept. Everyone has a right to die, but that is controversial again. Coming to example, the debate on legalizing euthanasia has raised ethical, moral, and religious concerns. The debate has been on for many decades and it has raised a few questions. And those questions are relevant, are from ethical, moral, and cultural, also religious concerns. Coming to the next word, statute. I think statute we have got a few times. Statute means what? Written law. Part of speech noun meaning a written law passed by a legislative body. Synonyms law, legislation, act, ordinance, decree, important word, regulation. Ordinance also important. You may ask me, sir, why is it important? Ordinance, here we have the letter I. Without that ordinance factory goes with defense related stuff. They come under confusing words. Antonyms anarchy, lawlessness, non regulation. Collocations statute, law. Under the statute, statutory obligation, important, statute book. Statute book, important. All these combinations are very important. They have given a few times. Phrases and idioms on the statute books. Usually we say in the book. Where is the information? In the book. But here remember the preposition is what? On. On the statute books. That potential to get in the exam. It has a potential to become an exam question. Because usually we have a fixed idea. We say in the book. But here on the statute books. Officially enacted as law. Example, the new statute prohibits the sale of tobacco products to anyone under the age of 21. Coming to the editorial, what is this editorial about? Very important. Stray dogs, menace of stray dogs means a problem of stray dogs, the threat of stray dogs. They have given many a time, important from descriptive English point of view. Again, many students, what happens here, people don't read these editorials, they don't watch, they don't listen to. Then what happens? They don't develop the contextual awareness. They don't get the lexical terms. They don't get the word combinations. They don't get the standard phrases that go with the topic. And when you go to descriptive English, if you have to write an essay or a letter, today it is computer based evaluation. They feed the computer with the standard expressions, the standard vocab, the standard lexical terms, the standard word combinations. And when you read something like this, you use these words, obviously you get maximum marks. Otherwise, you use some other words computer may not consider. That way one has to read. Practicing compassion. Compassion means kindness. And practicing, very good, pravalika. You have to immediately recollect two words. What is the first one? Practice, T-I-C-E. The other one, practice, T-I-S-C. T-I-C-E is a noun form and T-I-S-C is a verb form. Here used as a verb, practicing what? Compassion, kindness. On the stray dogs issue, court order. There are two dimensions here. One is a stray dogs issue, menace of stray dogs. The other one, court order, Supreme Court's order. Those who don't have the background information, I will tell in a nutshell. Stray dogs problem is a major problem in the capital city, Delhi. Many people got bitten. They suffered a lot. Some people died also. Against that backdrop, recently Supreme Court on August 11th came out with a particular order. According to that order, all the stray dogs should be caught and kept in shelters. Then there was a protest. Animal lovers and intellectuals that said that is not pragmatic, that is not practical. You cannot take all the dogs and keep somewhere, shelter. Why is it not pragmatic? Why is it not advisable? Forget about the concerns of animal lovers. First, the shelter should be big enough, spacious enough, and they should have the funds, they should have the manpower, and all these factors should be kept in mind. And Supreme Court also said keep them there forever. but that is not acceptable. Animals also have certain rights. So, what is a mid path? You catch all the dogs, keep those dogs which are aggressive, which are chronically sick in those areas, but other dogs you vaccinate and release them. Change in the stand. It's all about that. What is the main idea? Understanding the cost of animal shelters undermines them. Underestimating, I'm sorry. Underestimating the cost of animal shelters undermines them. We should not underestimate the cost of animal shelters. Then what happens? It weakens the idea of animal shelters or providing shelter to animals. There are two words. One is underestimating, you all know, and undermine. Many of you have got many a time you have listened to this word, and many of you know the meaning. Undermine means what? To weaken. Coming to the how does it start? The Supreme Court of India's proceedings on free roaming dogs represent an earnest, even if inadequate, attempt to reconcile competing claims of compassion and safety. First, let us look at an important word: reconcile, reconciliation. What does it mean? Patching up. Imagine two friends, they had a tiff, they had an argument, they had a row. For some time, they don't talk to each other, but after some time, they patch up, they talk to each other. Then we say they have reconciled. It goes with countries as well. But there's one more dimension. Imagine someone is not rich and he tries a lot to become rich, but he fails. Then he accepts that bitter fact he cannot become rich. Then you can say he has reconciled to the fact that he cannot become rich. A different connotation, different context altogether. It talks about Supreme Court's order, and this order has been changed. Initially something, later changed. It is nothing but, though it is earnest, means what? Sincere, inadequate attempt. It's an attempt to reconcile competing claims of compassion and safety. There are two issues over here. One is competing claims of compassion, means kindness towards animals. The other one, safety of the mankind. Both are very important. I'm not able to see the comments. Please keep the comments. On August 11, 2025, the court had directed the Municipal Corporation of Delhi to round up strays. Here, strays means stray dogs, and confine them, means restrict them in shelters. Initial order of the Supreme Court on August 11th: catch all the stray dogs, confine them to shelters, but there was a lot of opposition from animal lovers and others also. 11 days later, it had to change its stand. 11 days later, it changed course, means direction, permitting release after vaccination and deworming, and that aggressive or rabid animals be retained. All the stray dogs, they don't belong to the same category. Among them also, some stray dogs are friendly, some they can be we can have them as pets. Some stray dogs are aggressive, always ready to attack. Some are sick, some have rabid and rabies. And based on that, the Supreme Court said release after vaccination and deworming. After vaccination and deworming, they should be released. Normal dogs and aggressive or rabid animals be retained. They should keep aggressive, not don't belong to anyone. Oh, no, you're asking that now. Stray dogs, already I've said many a time, stray children, stray dogs means street dogs. Street dogs don't belong to anyone. India bears, I hope you are serious, Uday Kumar. Are you asking for the sake of it, or you're really not aware of the meaning of the word stray? You are a regular, you attend the sessions regularly. We have got this many a time. You should know the meaning of the word stray. Stray dogs means street dogs. Street dogs don't belong to anyone. One meaning. Another meaning, from a group, a particular animal goes out of the group. It cannot reach the group. It goes in different directions. Then also we say it got strayed. These I have told many a time. India bears one of the world's heaviest burdens. Bear the burden, important expression. Bear the burden means you have that problem. India bears one of the world's heaviest burdens of rabies and anthropological accounts. Anthropology, anthropos means human, mankind. Logy, scientific study. So, what is anthropology? Scientific study of mankind, man in time and space. Anthropological accounts are clear that this threat shapes daily life. What is a menace here? Menace means threat. What is it? Everyday life is related to this stray dogs. How is it related? Who is affected? Limiting children's movements and forcing families into repeated medical expenses. When it comes to stray dogs, in your essay writing also, letter writing, you have to mention the groups affected. One, children are affected by stray dogs. Second, old people when they go for a walk. Children while playing in the streets, they are attacked. And old people when they go for a walk, they are attacked. And two-wheelers also. Sometimes dogs, stray dogs chase two-wheelers. These three groups you have to mention. Here, children's movements are restricted and families into forcing families into medical expenses. Once a dog bites, obviously the family has to take the person to hospital. They have to incur expenses. Rabies also disproportionately kills those least able to navigate the health system. See, today's writer, a very good writer in my opinion, certain ideas he has expressed in a very nice manner, proper wording and proper presentation, the pattern, the choice of words, excellent. Look at this. A common man cannot understand this language. One has to be an intellectual and one has to read meticulously. Rabies also disproportionately kills those least able to navigate the health system. Not easy to understand. What does it mean? If you take stray dogs, usually who is exposed to stray dogs? Poor people. Though the slum dwellers, they are exposed to stray dogs. And the number of those people getting attacked, the number is higher and compared to those who are rich. Because rich people, obviously, they use cars and they don't get affected by the stray dogs. Disproportionately kills those least able to navigate the health system. Means least able to afford the health system. They don't have enough money, they can't go to hospitals, and disproportionately the stray dogs attack. Those who get attacked, 80%, the lion's share, 80%, you can say poor people, those who live in poverty, and 20% rich people, rarest of rare. While the animal birth control rules were updated in 2023, experience shows that without 70% sterilization coverage, they are ineffectual. It talks about a particular act. Birth control rules were updated in 2023. While is used to express the contrast. Experience shows that without 70% sterilization coverage, they are not effective. They haven't reached that 70% sterilization. Sterilize in this context, vaccination, sterilization. And also it goes with stopping the reproduction, sterilize. It also goes with fertile. What is opposite? Sterile. If you are talking about land, fertile opposite barren. If you are talking about reproduction, fertile opposite sterile. A man cannot produce kids, biologically speaking. We call that person impotent. Have you heard of this word any time? Impotent man. The August 11 order was significant, important because it acknowledged that the present framework, the legal system, however well intentioned, means intentions are good, is inadequate for India's dense settlements. Law is there, intentions are good, but India has dense settlements, means a lot of people living at one particular place. Obviously, you come across street dogs over there, not adequate, inadequate. Objections that shelters will be overcrowded and disease ridden, and that permanent impoundment will precipitate an ecological imbalance, confront the same issues that undermine the rules. Rules are there, they're undermined by present scenario, present conditions. And coming to, based on the Supreme Court order, if all the dogs, the street dogs, are arrested, obviously certain problems we are going to encounter. What are those problems? Objections that shelters will be overcrowded, one thing. Disease ridden, second thing. And permanent impoundment, permanent confinement. Impound, another meaning, confine, restrict to a particular place. Permanent impoundment will precipitate, result in ecological imbalance. They confront the same issues that undermine the rules, in a way related. Properly resourced, and what are the solutions? Properly resourced and regulated shelters can be managed with veterinary standards, space norms, and transparent oversight. If they get crowded, then you have to have more shelters and they have to be spaced out, and you have to take the help of the vets, veterinary doctors. It talks about those things. And transparent oversight. You may ask, sir, oversight, a simple word, why have you highlighted that? In English, certain words have a positive meaning, at the same time, a negative meaning. Here, oversight means negligence. His oversight, he did not read the article properly, means he could not read meticulously. Oversight also means to observe something, to consider something. Transparent oversight means to consider something properly. It should be open. India already maintains similar institutions for cattle on a large scale. Cattle, we have similar institutions, but not for canines. Bovine means cattle related, canine means dog related, feline means cat related. But if canine facilities are in squalor, means a dirty condition, which may have motivated the court to change course. Because the shelters are not properly maintained, the court must have changed its stand. It will be due to the same administrative neglect and policy fragmentation between states that have kept sterilization coverage from crossing 70% in any major city, and which have been keeping alive fears of other species migrating into the ecological niches dogs once occupied. A bit difficult to understand, but it talks about negligence on part of the states, and also sterilization not crossed to 70%, below 70%. And because of this, what is the impact? Some of the animals may enter the habitats of dogs. Here we have one important word, ecological niches. Niche actually goes with business. It's a business term, goes with marketing. Imagine I produce a soap and release in the market. In the past, that's what people would do. Everyone would use the same soap. But now we look at niche marketing. I manufacture soap exclusively for kids. Some people manufacture exclusively for women. Some manufacture exclusively for old people. This is what precisely we call niche marketing. And ecological niches means habitats. Habitat, residence, Leelavati, very good. And habitat, place where a plant or animal can survive. Going to the second part of the editorial, what does it say? Street dogs are woven into India's urban fabric. Woven, fabric weaving. But here it means, urban fabric means not literally. Urban landscape, urban society, urban culture. Dogs are part of urban culture, woven into India's urban fabric, even offering companionship to the homeless. There are so many homeless people, and for them, you must have seen some street dogs always with them, they follow them, they provide the company. Companionship means company. Such perspectives deserve a place in cultural discourse. Because they have a role to play, we have to talk about those when it comes to public discussion. Discourse means discussion. Very good, Diya. But cannot override the human right to access public spaces without fear of injury. We have to consider, no doubt about that, but we cannot override, we cannot keep aside the primary thing, safety of people to access the public places. We cannot override that one. Compassion is not annulled. Many of our students know the idiom. What is it? Null and void. To make something null and void means what? To make something invalid. Annul also means the same. Make invalid. Compassion is not annulled if dogs are removed from public roads. If you remove dogs from public roads, it doesn't mean you are not compassionate, but it means you are not compassionate if you don't provide proper shelters. They must still be compassionately rehomed, sheltered, and when incurably aggressive or ill, euthanized humanely. Just you remove the dogs from the streets, it doesn't mean you are not compassionate, you are not kind towards the animals. But If you don't provide proper shelter, if you don't rehome them, you don't provide shelter, and when some dog incurably aggressive or sick, you don't kill that dog in a humane manner, human related to mankind, humane, kind, or ill euthanized humanely. A modern statute means written law, must replace the outdated Prevention of Cruelty to Animals Act 1960. Things have changed. We have to amend the laws also. It should classify dogs as adoptable, shelter bound, or unfit and mandate municipal shelters with minimum standards. All these come under remedies, solutions. Do remember, I told at the outset this is an important editorial. You may get in the exam letter writing or essay, and they usually ask, what is the right about the menace of stray dogs? Suggest two remedies or three remedies. Remedies mean solutions. Here you come across. It should classify related to Cruelty to Animals Act 1960, outdated. It should classify dogs as three categories: adoptable, some dogs are friendly, we should adopt them; shelter bound, some dogs should be sent to shelters; or unfit, then we have to go in for euthanasia; and mandate municipal shelters with minimum standards. Mandatory, compulsory. Municipal shelters should have minimum standards. They should not send the dogs to a squalor. How does it end? Crucially, government should count stray dogs across states and determine the true cost of maintaining shelters rather than chronically underestimating it. Main idea is being reiterated. They have been underestimating the cost of the shelters, and they should not do that according to the editorial. If they have to do it properly, what is the first step? They have to count all the stray dogs across the states. Then they have to estimate the cost. How much does it cost to provide the shelters to these number of stray dogs? This system should also have the support of the national veterinary cadre or veterinary fraternity. They should take their help. Better waste management. When do you come across stray dogs? You throw food everywhere. Within no time, stray dogs go there. Waste management is also equally important. And penalties for abandoning pets. Some people leave the pets. They should be punished. Penalties for abandoning. Abandon means what? Desert or to leave. Without these measures, urban India will keep trading visible menace for invisible neglect. Look at the last sentence, the way it has been presented, the idea. If you don't take these measures, without these measures, urban India will keep trade, exchange, you can say. Visible menace. What is visible menace? Menace of stray dogs. For invisible neglect. Neglect is invisible. And as long as you don't focus on what is essential, your efforts will be futile. It ends on that note. And there's a question based on this. Now let us go to questions based on reading comprehension skill. A word of caution. Today, the comprehension based questions are not easy. If you get all the five correct, you should be happy. You got to read meticulously. Which of the following best reflects the dilemma faced by the Supreme Court in its orders of August 11 and August 2022-25? There was a change in the stand taken by the Supreme Court. So what is that? What does it reflect? Balancing judicial activism? No. Reconciling compassion for stray dogs with the need to ensure human safety. Reconcile, patch up two things. One, compassion towards stray dogs. The other one, equally important, human safety. Answer is B. The editorial suggests that the failure of animal birth, please don't look at this. The editorial suggests that the failure of animal birth control ABC rules primarily lies in failure of something lies in what? Then you need a negative exact reason. Cannot be a positive one. Lack of awareness campaigns about sterilization, underfunding and administrative neglect leading to poor implementation. Already the writer has used administrative neglect. Based on that, answer is B. You don't have to go beyond. The author implies that shelters for stray dogs in India are ineffective mainly because stray dogs shelters are not effective in our country. Why? What are the reasons to say that? Rabid dogs cannot be easily segregated from healthy ones. They often replicate the same disease ridden and overcrowded conditions feared by critics. Financial capacity to build and sustain them? No. Cultural attachment? No. Prevention of? No. What is the answer? B is the answer for question number 3. Very good. You guys got it right. What does the phrase urban India will keep trading visible menace for invisible neglect? What does it mean? A good question. I told you there's a question based on the last sentence. Rabies deaths will continue to be underreported due to lack of data? No. Removing dogs from streets without proper shelter will only hide the problem while worsening animal welfare. Not correct, not correct, not correct. So, what is the answer? Again, answer is B. Removing dogs from streets without proper shelter will only hide the problem while worsening animal welfare. Same old conditions, squalor, they suffer. That is not a solution. Coming to the last one, based on comprehension, which of the following not suggested? This is like a trap. Any in the exam, if you come across questions based on true, false, not suggested, it's a trap. You got to be very careful. You got to be very good at English. To answer, you have to read the passage 5 times. Only then you can. Thank you very much. Who is this? Nandu. Coming to the fifth question, not suggested. Editorial suggests universal measures across the country, not specifically to certain cities. Based on that, limiting sterilization programs to major cities where rabies is most common. This has not been suggested. Answer is D. Now, questions based on mini mocks. A word of caution, today's questions are not easy. Error location, word usage, fillers, phrase replacement, not at all easy. If you get all the 5 correct, you should be happy. Here we have a sentence with an error. Tell me which part has an error. Kavya, very good. You got 5 out of 5. That's wonderful. Try to answer this one. Which part has an error? One C. Vishnu, same Vishnu who attends morning at 7. There is an error in the third part. What is wrong? Here the subject is a filing. After that, all these words you have to put in brackets. The filing represents, filing is a noun, verb ing form used as a noun, gerund, considered singular, nothing wrong with represents. But there is an error, yet another troubling chapters. When you use yet another troubling, you cannot use a noun in the plural form. We don't say another issues. Another means one more. Then you cannot use a noun in the plural form. Another issue, another student, another chapter. We have an error here. Nothing wrong represents nothing wrong. Chapters wrong. It should be chapter. Word usage. Choose a sentence in which the usage of the word weaponized is incorrect. Vishnu, same student who attends at 7 in the morning live session or a different student? Please respond. The one who attends bilingual session, same one here or a different student? Weaponized, incorrect. The government has weaponized an academic error to discredit the institution, seems okay. The opposition weaponized a public anger during the protests, seems okay. The athlete weaponized her training to win the marathon, seems okay. The regime weaponized the social media to control narratives. That is not correct. And why do you attend both the sessions? Don't spend so much time on editorial analysis. 2 hours. No, that is not advisable. Not at all advisable. I always tell students if you don't watch these sessions, you should spend 60 minutes on the newspaper. And if you watch, then after the session, spend 15 minutes to 20 minutes. Same one, same one. Don't do it, Vishnu. If you are preparing for competitive exams, I don't recommend. My suggestion, please don't do that, because I tell students, if you read the Hindu paper, forget about this. If you read the Hindu paper on your own, don't spend 1 second beyond an hour, because you have to balance while preparing for competitive exams. You have to balance so many subjects. Only on the newspaper, 2 hours, 3 hours, sheer waste of time. Answer is a D. Are you preparing for competitive exams? Then I don't recommend. Phrase replacement. What is a phrase here? Falling to the bottom 20% among 179 nations. You have to read the sentence, understand the context, and decide whether it is right or wrong. Nothing wrong with this. Such acts have led to India's ranking falling to the bottom 20% among 179 nations. Answer is no improvement required. Coming to the next one, pillar. Through its National Election Studies and Data Archive, Lokniti has helped transform the study of Indian politics to one based on empirical inquiry. That word is the key. No, don't spend so much time. Please don't do that. Newspaper is only one of the dimensions, not the only dimension. We have to learn a lot: quant, reasoning, current affairs, English. English is only one subject, one section. Empirical means a practical, evidence based. That's a positive word. Based on that, we cannot choose negative words like all these are negative. What is answer? Rigorous and large scale. A rigorous, very strict and large scale. Answer is B. Coming to the last one, connector. The ICSSR has characterized the Lokniti survey as maligning the ECI. The survey revealed low availability of verification documents among voters. This is a bit difficult, but here if you take elimination approach, nevertheless contrast, in spite of contrast, although contrast, hence talks about the result because has characterized Lokniti survey as maligning the ECI. Then they have to give the reason why. We use a conjunction because the survey revealed low availability of verification documents among voters. Answer is B. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. I will